Hey guys, Mr. Lloyd here. Going to work with you today on video 3 for May 5th. Today we're going to be going over the paper that you see on the screen. A couple of questions from our friend Puzzle Penguin. He is, or she, I never really know to be honest, but Puzzle Penguin is trying to calculate mean and is kind of running into some errors or some confusion. And so let's see if we can help sort Puzzle Penguin out. So that's what we're going to be doing on this video. Let's get right into it. We'll look at the first problem here. The first problem here, he's got these 3 blocks in this group and 6 blocks in this other group. And let's read what he's got going on. So he's asked to find the mean of the numbers 3 and 6, and he's got them represented there. I know that finding the mean is the same as rearranging the cubes, so there's the same number of cubes in each group. So far, as I'm reading this, so far so good. He's on the right track. His thinking is correct. It all makes sense. So he rearranges the cubes, but there are too many cubes to make 2 groups of 4, and not enough cubes to make 2 groups of 5. So, and that makes sense, right? We can sort of visualize that. If you want to, take your pencil and draw your arrows so that blocks are going back and forth. I don't think there's a mean. This is his conclusion. So I don't think that there is a mean for the numbers 3 and 6. Am I correct? Don't think there's a mean for numbers 3 and 6. Well, as a matter of fact, Puzzle Penguin is incorrect. There is always a mean with data sets, and we can find it pretty simply. We add up our total, so we add up 3 and 6, and we get 9. And there are 2 groups that we added. There's this group and there's this group. So we divide 9 by 2. Okay, and 9 divided by 2 is 4.5 or 4.5. So the mean is 4.5. My thinking here is our friend Puzzle Penguin didn't understand that a mean doesn't have to be a whole number. In this case, it turns into a decimal. We could also represent this as a mixed number, 4.5. That's also correct. And so I'm wondering if maybe our buddy here just struggled with understanding that part, that an average or a mean could be, doesn't have to be a whole number. But that's all we need to write for number 5. Just want to make sure that we understand how to calculate the mean, and then this mean is really easy to calculate because it's just a couple quick, add a couple numbers and divide them by 2. Okay. So for the second part of our Puzzle Penguin today, he's got some data here, and he's going to ask to find the mean again. So let's see. I'm going to ask to find the mean of the numbers 12, 1, and 2. When I used addition and division to calculate the mean, my work produced an answer of 5. Which doesn't seem right because the set of numbers doesn't contain the number 5. So all the way up to here, as I'm reading this, as a teacher, I'm thinking, well, he's exactly right. I mean, he added everything together. You get 12 plus 1 is 13, plus 2 is 15, and there are 1, 2, 3, so 15 divided by 3 is 5. So he's calculated everything right, but he's a little confused. He doesn't trust himself here. He doesn't trust his answer. And that sometimes happens when we're working on math, especially when it's a new skill or a new concept. We kind of run into some insecurity, some feelings that we're not right. And so let's take a look. He calculated the mean a second time. Great idea. Always double check your work. And again, my answer was 5. Okay. So can you explain what I did wrong? Well, here's the deal. He didn't do anything wrong. He just didn't trust himself. Adding your number gives you 15. You had 3 numbers, so dividing 15 by 3 gives you 5. The mean, the important takeaway from this problem, and the thing I would tell Puzzle Penguin, is that the mean does not have to be a number in the data set. So he's right when he says the mean is 5, but there is no 5 in our data set. And so that's something we just have to understand about what mean is. It's not the most common number. It's not one of the numbers necessarily. It just is it's a calculation within the data set. So we don't have to get too worried about this concept. And if you're having some of the same struggle as you're working through these problems with mean, if you're having the same struggle as you're calculating mean in different problems, don't let yourself get too hung up on these types of questions, because in this case he was right. He was right, and he had the right idea on both the top problem and the bottom problem, and just didn't trust himself, didn't maybe have enough practice to know that he was doing everything correct. So if you're feeling the same way, just ask me a question. Let me know through text, through phone calls, through Zoom, through YouTube comments, Google Classroom, whatever way we need to get in touch, we'll make it happen. All right, that's all the time I'm going to have for this video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you later.